Okay, here we are with the training and documentation database. So a couple of a few of the high value items and keys to this database is one, it comes pre-populated with all of these different articles. So here are all of the active ones. I think there's about 200. Here's the master list, has about 200 of them. So besides that, you can search for these by different results. So if we go to like top articles, here's like 16 of top articles that you likely will need in your short-term rental business, like how your business is structured and how it works. So if you are bringing on a team and building a team, if you're thinking about how does my team and how does all that structure work, this is an example of how the structure worked for my company. So negotiating rental rates, like every team goes through this process of like what happens when a guest asks for a discount, and this just breaks that whole article out. How to use effective language and rhetoric in guest communications. Again, something that every team could use, like don't say sorry or no problem, things like that. How to make decisions effectively, onboarding a new property. This is a super comprehensive training articles inside of training articles. It says, okay, onboarding a new property. This is overall our process for onboarding a new property. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. This explains the phases. And then each of these breaks out into additional articles. So on our site visit and kickoff call, here's the things that we need to happen when we have that call. After the call, here's the things that we need to happen when we onboard the owners. We need to update our CRM. We need to file the management agreement, file the certificate of insurance, and so on and so on. So super detailed article. Again, these are 16 top articles. Here's a process for hiring a housekeeper, a day in the life of a guest services coordinator. But besides this, there are about 200 plus of very relevant articles for anything in the vacation rental business, like host cancellation policy or door lock troubleshooting, things like that. So besides that, it's broken out into different tools. So here's about 30 or so training articles specific to OwnerRez, and very breaking down pretty much the whole process on how we used OwnerRez and all of the different updates and onboarding for a new property and things like that. Same thing, here's some on Breezeway and Notion, and here's some troubleshooting, and here's some mindset articles. So besides that, what we have is we essentially have these pre-populated templates down here. So if this is a how-to, so it just gives the layout of a how-to article and how it should go. If let's say instead we wanted to do a bookkeeping process, then this was the template that we use for a bookkeeping process. And let's see, what other templates are there? Bookkeeping reference doc or troubleshooting, or here's a tax and compliance cheat sheet template. So let's say we're doing a new tax and compliance cheat sheet. This was the overview, or this is the overview of, okay, here's the tax and compliance. So gives that all of that structure to here's everything and here's the information we need to collect. So that's an overview of the training and documentation database.